Yeah, we spend a lot of time just traveling all over, just kind of, doing seminars around the country and really helping parents, learn how do I take the gospel that I know to be so true and engage with my kids maybe a little bit differently than we did it 10 years ago, but in an effective way that counters the effects that the culture is having on their teens.
Well, you've had people come to you through Heartlight Ministries in Texas for how long now?
Almost 38 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
How did you make that decision to, as we might say, take it on the road and actually do conferences like you did in Montgomery at First Baptist Church recently?
Yeah, it's interesting, Bob, because I never wanted to do that. I mean, if I had my druthers and I could choose what I wanted to do, I would be hanging out with those 60 kids that live with us. We've had about 2,700 kids live with us now. And that's what I do. Somebody approached me and said, "Would you write books?" And I said, "I don't even read books." And then somebody said, "Well, you need to be on radio." And I'm going, "I don't think I'd fit on radio. I don't have a voice for that. I don't think I'd do well." And then somebody else said, "Would you come and speak at our church?" Well, so now we're on 1,600 radio stations, and I've got 2 weekends off a year that I'm not speaking somewhere, doing something, and it's been somewhat interesting. But it hasn't been because I really set out to do that. It's been really as a result of hanging out with families and kids and spending time with them and engaging with them and maybe learning some new ways to help parents engage with their child differently. It's a different culture than when you and I grew up. It's just a completely different culture.
And you think you're obviously being a home for a number of young people as these teenagers come to Heartlight, but you're going out. Obviously, there would be many, many more if you weren't out helping to teach parents so that they can perhaps get into the hearts and minds of their kids and to intervene in their lives before you. I don't want to say it's a drastic measure to take to send them away from home, but
it is.
I mean, when they come to you, there's some pretty hefty challenges there.
It's
I'd
a
imagine.
mess. It's a mess. You know what? And half the kids would tell you this. Half the kids would say, if I wouldn't have come here, I'd be dead. And so that's the backdrop. That's how much of a crisis it's got to get to. But that's where I spend all of my time saying, okay, how do I help parents where they don't ever have to send their child to us? And so that's what I spend my time doing.
I am very curious. When a child first comes to Heartlight, obviously there can be any number of issues that these kids are struggling with. So how do you begin to, as you might say, chip away and start to really be able to get into the heart of a child and really find out what's going on there? Because there got to be some really huge challenges there.
There are. And what's interesting to me is that you can proclaim, as we talked about, the whole theme of this conference, the NRB convention is to proclaim. You can proclaim the gospel in a number of ways. It's just not by words. And we've all said this, that your actions speak louder than words, that it's not what you say, it's what you do. It's how you live. It's not what comes out of your mouth, it's how your actions engage with other people. And I really believe that as we spend more and more time with kids and get them to develop a relationship with us, that life that we have, where we've all said that the Christian life is more caught than taught, then that rubs off on kids. Most of the kids that come to us, 95% of them, come from great homes, great backgrounds. They've been taught well. They do things well. I mean, they get it. They don't need more information. They need to know how to take what they know to be true and apply it to their world, because something drastic has happened and chaotic has happened in their life that they're spinning out of control. They're making poor choices. Somebody's done something to them. There's been a tragedy within their family. It's been a mess. So that child comes to us and goes, you know what? I don't want to be there. But we go, okay, the power of relationship is great. We were created to be relational beings. And so when we start chipping away at a kid with a relationship, a one-on-one existence, we gradually win them over to us, and then we learn a lot of things, and we're able to help them take what they know to be true and apply it to their world.